Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you all today. My name is Rob Longwell-Grice, and I am a resident of Shorewood. I am seeking your support as the Green Party candidate for the 10th District Assembly seat. My wife Hope and I have lived in the 10th District for almost 25 years. We live blocks away from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee campus, where I worked as an administrator and an instructor for 20 years. I grew up on a farm in upstate New York. I was the fifth of 8 children. I was a first-generation college student, and through some odd circumstances, found my way to Dubuque, Iowa, where I graduated from the University of Dubuque. I have a degree in social work, and my first job upon completing my degree was with the state of South Dakota. I worked with the Lakota Indian tribe on the Rosebud Indian Reservation, and that experience left an indelible impact on me that continues to this day. Following that experience, I obtained both my master's and doctoral degree in counseling psychology, which led to a 40-year career in higher education, the last 20 of which were at UW-M. I've spent my career working with people of different ages, ethnicities, and economic backgrounds to accomplish shared goals. I will bring my experience working with diverse groups to my work in the State Assembly. As I read the platform and various position statements of the Green Party, I am inspired, and I look forward to sharing these ideals with the constituency of the 10th District. We may be familiar with these tenets, but I firmly believe that talking with voters about these same tenets will bring a thrill of recognition and excitement seldom seen in day-to-day Wisconsin politics. I will look voters in the eye and say, we must finally seek a sustainable society in harmony with the environment, one that meets all people's needs for security, self-respect, freedom, creativity, and community. When neighbors and friends ask me why I want to be part of the Green Party solution, I tell them this story. I vividly recall the moment I decided to run for the 10th District Assembly seat. It was a cold January night in 2025, and I was driving home from the gym. Donald Trump had just been inaugurated that morning, and I was despondent. But what to do? Yes, I could continue to contribute to good causes and hope my greatest fears wouldn't come true. Yes, I could continue to be active in organizations that help make the world a better place for our children and our children's children. I could do these things, but somehow in the cold and gloom of that night, it just didn't seem to be enough. No, I reasoned, I needed to escalate my activity. Running for office, I reasoned, would allow me to voice my concerns to a wider audience. People in my district are already asking, aren't you afraid of taking votes away from a Democrat and helping a Republican? Well, there hasn't been a Republican running in the 10th Assembly in recent history, and it's unlikely there will be one this time around either. The 10th District is currently represented by a Democrat, Darren Madison, and he is running for re-election. Some people have asked why I don't run as a Democrat in the primary against Darren. Some have even suggested I'm just a disaffected voter throwing rocks at the Democratic Party. But let's be clear, I am a lifelong Democrat, and I've been very active in Democratic politics over the years. However, the inability of the Democratic Party to accomplish any meaningful environmental legislation has left me frustrated. I have come to the conclusion that it's time for some independent voices in our state's government. It is time to work for what I envisioned on that cold January night. A more holistic and humane approach to politics as usual. An approach that takes a hard, pragmatic look at the issues facing Wisconsin through the lens of what is sustainable for the environment and what is fair to everyone. Caring for the environment must be foremost in our minds. We can no longer ignore the degradation our behavior is causing on the land, the water, and the air around us. And with a national administration that is causing more pollution, more degradation, and more human suffering in the name of corporate and billionaire profits, fighters for justice on local and state levels must be tougher than ever. As a Green Party candidate, some of the issues I will prioritize are passing a statewide bottle bill requiring deposits on all bottles and cans in the state. I will also work with our neighboring states to pass a compact, Midwest Compact. I will rescind the law that prevents local municipalities from limiting the use of single-use plastic. This so-called ban on bans is an affront and an insult to the communities in our state. I will work to provide more support and funding for alternative energy sources to ease our reliance on fossil fuels. I will meet with as many constituents as I can. I will use social media. I will create a website, Facebook page, and other accounts. And I will appear on local radio and podcasts as much as possible in the 10th District. In our area, No King's protests are bigger and louder than before. People are ready and eager to take action. We can turn environmental urgency into action. Washington, D.C. is a disaster. But change grows from the local to the state to the national level. Now, all this may seem like an uphill battle, but consider the moral of this tale. A long time ago, a man was brought before the king and charged with a minor crime. Yet the king ordered the man executed. The man asked for mercy and one more chance. "Your Highness," he said, "if I can teach your horse to talk in a year, will you set me free?" Bemused, the king replied, "You have your year." A friend grabbed the man. "Are you crazy?" he said. "How is that going to work?" The man smiled and said, "A lot can happen in a year. The kingdom may be invaded, the king might die, or maybe, just maybe, that horse might talk." As your Green Party candidate in the 10th District, I'm willing to take that chance. Thank you.